Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing Channel for tonight's action here in the Purple Sector Formula One League for round 12 of this 24-round season with Season X here. And as you can probably tell, we are at the home of motorsport, the famous Silverstone circuit for tonight's action here, the British Grand Prix for the Purple Sector F1 League. I'm delighted to be here in this situation where I can commentate on my favourite circuit and a lot of people's favourite circuit, I think, a circuit which I know very well. I know all the corner names, for one, which it gives me a little bit of satisfaction, but also just seeing the racing action around this track. There are so many places where you can overtake. It's close, it's exciting, and it's also a challenge for the drivers as well. High speed with lots of different challenges, and so far looking like it's dry weather, but who knows, that could change over the course of this evening. But for the time being, in this qualifying, it looks like we're going to be seeing the utmost pace of the drivers. We're going to see the true potential of these cars, which is what you want to see around a circuit like this, because it's a track where it demands every single piece of the car, every part of the machinery, every aspect of engineering and driver skill is challenged around a circuit like Silverstone. So looking forward to seeing what happens here tonight. But currently we've got Big Raki at the top of the leaderboard, just about dipping into the 126s, and he's managed to get the Beaten Ultra here in the early stages of this qualifying session. The story of this season so far has been Big Raki getting closer to the ultimate pace of Beaten Ultra, but never quite able to usurp him over the course of a race distance. But as it stands at the moment in this qualifying session, he is top of the pile. He seems to be very good at warming up the tyres, this Big Raki, because we've seen a few times he's done the fastest lap of the session at the very start of the session, but then as the track rubbers in, Beaten Ultra just manages to seize the upper hand. So are we going to see a repeat of what we've been seeing recently, or are we going to see Big Raki finally be able to deliver on this promise as he comes into the pits here at the end of it, that current run that he's on? Beaten Ultra in second place, the championship leader, the runaway championship leader so far here in the Purple Sector Formula One League, was second last season to Teza Mazza, but Teza has thrown in the towel pretty early on this season due to his lack of passion for this F124 game, which appears to be a bit of a theme. I think this F124 game is a very, very different challenge to its predecessors. I've heard that apparently it's very, very difficult for pad users, and generally wheel users are the ones who reap the benefits from this game, which is a shame, really, because you want it to be, you want the accessibility to be there. But I understand why EA Sports have decided to go more down the sim route rather than the arcade route, because I know obviously F1 esports is a thing now. And I think they want to kind of make it seem like more of a competition rather than a game. But yeah, I guess you can't really win, can you? You can't cater to everybody. League racers in general, do take this game quite seriously, and I guess wheels are not too hard to come by, but some people just don't really want to have to fork out for expensive equipment. It's understandable. Neil just says that the mic is playing up. Let's just play it back. No, that was me fidgeting, Neil. I can tell because it sounds fine now. It must have been me fidgeting with it. Sorry, I'll try and keep my hands away from the stem. Unfortunately, this new mic, it's got an unusual stem compared to the other ones, and basically it's a bit more fragile, I think, than the other ones. I've always fiddled with the stem of the microphone, but this is the first one where you can actually hear it on the stream. So I will try and keep my hand away from the stem of the microphone. Obviously this is going to be a work in progress, but I'm going to try very, very hard to avoid this. I'm going to try and keep both hands on the controller at all times from this moment onwards, but yeah, let's see how that goes. As Beaten Ultra has gone to the top of the pile there by a tenth of a second, displaces Big Raki at the top of the leaderboard with a lovely lap there, 126.8. These two still the only two to get into the 126s so far in this session. Quake Melly is in third place on a 127.5. He's 2/10 ahead of Matty Pitt in fourth on a 127.7, and those four the only drivers to be within a second of the current provisional pole time being set by Beaten Ultra. Freddie is 1.2 seconds off of the pace in fifth on a 128.0. Then you've got Ruck also on a 128.0 in sixth, so only 9 thousandths of a second between those two. And you've got MN99 in seventh, a tenth shy of those two. Then you've got T in 8th place on a 128.3, second and a half off at a pace. So actually, from Freddie down to Justify, those 5 drivers only separated by 0.3 of a second. So it's going to be an exciting battle in the mid pack for sure. That's one that we've got to keep an eye on. We've got Adam the Sweet in P10 ahead of Ireland, only a tenth of a second between those two. Drauger in 12th and Truckee in P13 at the moment. Hoping that we're going to have more drivers than what are currently in the session right now, because I've only got 13 drivers in here at the moment. I was looking up, saw the check-in page not too long ago, and it was saying we're supposed to have 16 people racing, so I don't quite know what's going on there. Hopefully we're going to be seeing a few more faces on the grid before we get to the start. Still thick end of 10 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Well, all of a sudden it appears that there are only 13 people confirmed for tonight, so clearly some last minute dropouts there. Not quite sure really what's going on there. That's a shame. Oh, and apparently, according to Matty Peer, just Discord, Yapapella, who was one of the star performers actually on Tuesday, has apparently left. So, yeah, not quite sure what's gone off there, but clearly some kind of either he's got other priorities or maybe he's had a falling out with somebody. Don't quite know, but ultimately that's a driver who's withdrawn from the league. That's quite big news actually, because he was pretty competitive on Tuesday night, so that's a shame. It's always a shame to lose one of the drivers who are at the top. In a thick of it. Yeah, that's right. That's sim racing, unfortunately. That's the reality of it. People and drivers come and go. I do apologise for the little break up on the mic as well there. That was actually me. Just wasn't me fiddling with the stem of the mic. That was me fiddling with the jack, the audio jack. So I'm going to try and just basically I've got to just keep my hands on the ends of the controller. Whoa! I just heard it do it without me doing anything there. Right, I think we've got on top of it now. I've just moved the mic a good inch or two away from my face, and I'm now keeping both hands on the edge of the controller. So I'm just praying that I don't cause any audio interference from this moment onwards. But currently, Viton Ultra in the pits. Big Raki has either retired or DNF'd from qualifying. I don't know whether he put it in the wall or whether he's just decided that he's not going to improve. I would have thought probably that would have been a crash into the wall, because why on earth he would retire from the session with 7 minutes left when he's only a tenth of a second off of the provisional pole time is beyond me. I don't think he has done that. I'm almost certain that he has found the wall somewhere, pushing a little bit too hard, trying to displace Viton Ultra at the top of the leaderboard. So Neil's there confirming what I generally deduced there, that Big Raki has indeed binned it into the barriers. But Quick Valley coming out of Luffield now on a flying lap as we speak, currently 3rd place in this session. Bit of a gap back to Freddie and Rucker in 4th and 5th. Those two less than a tenth of a second separating them in terms of their lap times, their latest lap times. Freddie is currently just coming through sector 3. Is he coming into the pits for some fresh boots? Yes, he is. And Quick Melly looks like he's on an in lap because he's currently 4 seconds off his personal best coming through the first sector here. So that's definitely not going to be an improvement this time around. There's Viton Ultra in the pit lane here at the end of that last run. Ruck coming into the pits as well, and lots of drivers in the pits at this point. Obviously we're coming towards the business end of the session, so drivers are going to be coming in, putting the soft tyres on, a fresh set of soft tyres. Maybe they're taking a little break here. It's kind of in that awkward zone where you haven't really got much time to get in and do 2 runs. You can't really go out, do a lap, then come back in, then do another one. You haven't really got time to do that, so it makes the most sense to just wait a couple of minutes until the track is at its optimal, because the track's going to be most rubbered in towards the end of the session. So drivers are very reluctant at the moment to get out on track, but that also does mean that some drivers might try and take advantage of the lack of traffic out on the circuit. But likewise, the track's not going to be in its optimal zone at this point. So there's pros and cons. I'm sure that a couple of drivers will opt to get out there whilst the track is quiet, where they will manage to avoid any potential impeding from others. But still got to wait. and see what sort of times come in here towards the end of this session. But we have got T out there, so is Matty Pitt. Justify and Drago are both on flying laps, and Justify is on a pretty good one at the moment as he's coming through Cops within, pardon me, that was a hiccup, within 600ths of a second of his personal best, coming through the middle, through the first sector, should I say. Now coming towards the end of the middle sector as through Chapel Curve comes Justify onto the power here, out onto the hangar straight, 700ths of a second off the personal best there, going to the middle sector. Let's see what he can find here in this final sector. Can he find a tenth of a second that he needs to move ahead of T into 8th place? Can he find 2/10 and move ahead of MN99 into 7th? Here comes Justify into Vale. Look, he's pretty cautious there onto the throttle after the first apex. Here we come then. Justify through the final corner, and he does find 2/10, nearly, but not quite enough to get ahead of MN99. So Justify goes up a pace into 8th place. Nice lap there from Justify. Drago coming into the pits here at the end of this lap. Adam the Sweets out there, currently 7/10 of a second up. Oh no, that was the previous lap. He's actually 200ths down. T currently 600ths down on his personal best through the first sector on some fresh soft tyres. What about Matty Pitt? Matty Pitt's just starting a lap here, currently 6th in this session as things stand. Freddie's out there on an out lap, so he'll be starting his flying lap in due course. Justify nearly 4/10 down through the first sector, so I don't think this is going to be an improvement here as he pulls off a miracle in the final 2 sectors here. Obviously on worn tyres now, Justify. What about T? T coming on the exit of Chapel now. Let's see, he's nearly 3/10 down, so this is probably not going to be an improvement there for him. Matty Pitt, a 10th down in the first sector here. Driver's not really improving at this point. The track doesn't appear to be rubbering in that much. Obviously, with Silverstone, it's used pretty much all year round, so the track evolution is going to be significantly less diverse than what you would see at a typical racetrack. Silverstone pretty much used for proves every weekend for some sort of event, so typically you find that the track does not find that there's not really much improvement to be found. But nonetheless, Matty Pitt coming into Vale here on his flying lap that he's currently on. Let's keep an eye on him, see if he can improve. Currently 6th place at the moment, but only a 10th of a second or a 10th and a half off of 4th place. Matty comes over the line, then he goes into P5 there, pushes Ruck down a position and got pretty close to Freddie there, 300ths of a second off. As Oliver Cave says, good luck Freddie, unlucky to hear about Ricardo, but do this for him. Has it been confirmed? Because I've been at work all day. I've been started at 1 o'clock and then finished at 7. I literally just got home about an hour ago, so I haven't heard anything, but I'm assuming by what you're saying that Daniel Ricciardo, that it's been confirmed that he's going to be replaced for the rest of this season. Oh, that's a shame. I was saying earlier on, it'd be the ultimate plot twist if Red Bull now turned around and said that they're dropping Checo and that Ricciardo was going to be his replacement, which I know is completely it's a lunatic assumption, or it's a completely crazy theory, but it's just in my head. It's just there, and it's almost like, there's nothing against Checo, but I mean, everyone's been talking about it for God knows how long, and he's going to be replaced at some point, and it's a case of who it's going to be. And most likely it's going to be Lawson next season, but I just have this crazy sort of theory in my head that it could be Ricciardo. I know he doesn't deserve it, but stranger things have happened, have they? I don't know, have they? Has anything stranger than that happened? I don't know. But anyway, we see the provisional pole sitter V10 Ultra starting a flying lap here. 26.8 is the time to beat, and the others have got quite a bit to catch up to if they want to have a chance of getting pole here, because Quick Melly is over 3/10 shy of that time. Freddie and Matty Pitt 8/10 off of that fastest time, as we see Matty Pitt coming into the pits here, so he's not going to improve at the end of this session. Freddie coming around the final corner, about to start his final flying lap of this session here. We've got Quick Melly just coming around Stowe corner, about to start his final run of the session here. And V10 Ultra, look at this, he's a 10th of a second up through the first sector, so continuing to find time here despite already being top of the pile. He is continuing to absolutely drag this Williams around Silverstone circuit. Through Cops we go. Sounded like he was pretty much flat to the boards there. Down towards Maggots, Beckett and Chappell. Let's stay on board with our provisional pole sitter and championship leader. Flat out through the first two apexes there. Has to lift here as we come through Beckett's. Now through Chappell Curve. Onto the power once again. Looked like he was very confident indeed. Found more time there. 0.2 of a second better than his personal best in this sessional, which is already good enough for pole position. Down towards Stowe Corner we go. Big slide there on the entry to the corner, but gets it turned in nicely onto the power nice and early as he now comes down towards Vale. Wide entry there, just tagging the sausage curve on the inside, but still not really losing him any time there through the final corner club and over the line, and it's an improvement there by the slenderest of margins there. Viton Ultra onto a 26.6, 0.3 of a second clear of Big Raki. Quekmeli is on an improvement here, but has he backed out of it? I don't think he has. I think he's still going. So Quekmeli has got half a second should I say, 0.5 to find on Viton Ultra if he wants to put it on pole. Oh no, that was wrong. That was all wrong there from Quekmeli. He's still up, believe it or not, but yeah, he didn't maximise his speed at all there through that section. As here comes Quekmeli now into Stowe Corner. That engine sounds funny. What has he done to that setup? That just sounds really weird. Anyway, here he comes into the Vale. Is that the Haas car? Very strange. Anyway, Quekmeli coming through Club Corner for the final time in this session, and he improves his own lap time marginally there, but not by nearly enough to put it onto pole position, as I think that's the session done. Freddie wasn't able to improve. Quekmeli stays in third with MN99 4. Big Raki obviously crashed out of the session early on. Matty Pitt, P6. Rock is done. Justify the last driver out there, 0.2 up through the middle sector here, but he's half a second off of P7 man Rock. I was saying that he's half a second off of Freddie and P5 as well. So what can Justify do here in the final sector? That was a big improvement. Let's see what the timing board says here. Oh, it wasn't enough. So stays in P8. Definitely improved at the end there, I'm sure. But yeah, no. Well, it was a marginal improvement. No, it was even an improvement. I'm not sure. It doesn't actually look like it was in the end. So don't know. But anyway. That is that then for the qualifying session here for the British Grand Prix for the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. It was an improvement by a 1/10 of a second, so he was half a second off of P5. He's improved to within 4.5 tenths, so it was a very slight improvement there from Justify. But that is that for qualifying here, and we're going to get going for the British Grand Prix here tonight at Silverstone for Purple Sector, round 12 of his 24-round season for Season X. Here we go then. Got comments coming in here, left, right and centre. Oliver, they're reaffirming what we knew about Daniel Ricciardo now. Magpie Zero says it's been a long time coming, to be honest, with Danny Rick being shown the door. Yeah, I think the consensus is, and I agree, is that pretty much if he wasn't Daniel Ricciardo, he would have gone a long time ago. The only reason why he was being kept in that seat was because of the PR machine that he is, and obviously such a likeable and well-known person, not just in F1 but in general. So it was a real political move from Red Bull to have him there, and I think pretty much I think they just lost patience with him. His performances on track were less than mid, if I'm honest, and for a driver of that caliber you'd expect way more. So it was a matter of time, but it's a shame because obviously who he is, he's a very likeable driver, and he obviously used to be a very good driver as well. He used to be a fantastic driver. In fact, he was able to go toe-to-toe with Max Verstappen, and probably the only driver at Red Bull who's ever been able to even get close to him. And he obviously destroyed Hulkenberg at Renault. People say that going to Renault was a mistake for him, but he did well at Renault. It was McLaren when he became done, really. In the end, he shown up by Lando Norris in a car that he didn't like, and I think that wrecked his confidence. Went back to RB, a broken man, I think, after that. It's one of those things, unfortunately. Sometimes things can make or break you, and for him it did. It did the latter. But nonetheless, we're pulling up onto the grid here, about to go racing here for the British Grand Prix here at Purple Sector. So it's going to be Viton Ultra. Alongside him, Big Raki, who showed potential in the qualifying session, but ultimately couldn't get close enough. But here we go. We're about to go racing here for the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. And it's lights out and away we go. And it's a good start there from V10 Ultra as we come down towards Abbey for the first time. It looks like Big Racky's going to tuck in behind him there. Side by side here in the background with Quackmelly and MN99. It's MN99 trying to keep himself on the inside here of Quackmelly. Oh, it's big Quackmelly that goes into the back of Big Racky. I think Big Racky got that way without damage, but Quackmelly is definitely going to have lost a part of that front wing there as we see a bit of ghosting there between Quackmelly and MN99. Justify's got ahead of T around the outside of the loop there up into 8th place, and Drago there still just ahead of Truckee in battle for P10, but Truckee there getting the run down the Wellington straight up into P10 as we see MN99 down the inside of Quackmelly into Brooklands. That's job done there for him. Also T dropping a couple of places here down to P13, although he's just got around the outside of Adam the Sweet here on the exit of Luffield with Adam lagging or ghosting there. Freddie's got ahead of Quackmelly up into P4. Quackmelly's got damage on the car. He's going to be going backwards on this opening lap, I'm sure about that, as he for some reason is poking his nose up the inside there of Freddie when he's got a damaged car. I'm not quite sure why, as Ruck now is going to try and follow him through. Quackmelly needs to be careful here. He needs to get out of the way, in my opinion, because his car is going to have a lot of a big deficit in terms of the points of downforce. So Matty Pitt there also making his way through. As we can see, Justify there has lost out. He's got onto the grass there on the exit of Chapel and is down to P13, but it's V10 Ultra leading the way by just under a second head. Big Racky, you've got MN99 in third place, followed by Freddie. And you've got Rock, Matty Pitt, Truckee and Ireland. Quackmelly coming into the pits here at the end of the first lap. But V10 Ultra out the front has got the ascendancy for the time being, and Quackmelly struggling to get that car back around, limping to the pits here at the end of the first lap. And yeah, well, interesting first lap there. Obviously Quackmelly got a little bit over exuberant going into Village for the first time and ended up giving Big Racky a big old wallop. Luckily the rear wings, the rear of the cars, are built pretty much bulletproof, because the front certainly isn't. But Big Racky there was able to get away pretty much scot-free by the looks of it. I don't think he's got any damage, as we see Ireland there, DRS there on the back of Truckee, but not close enough. See Justify lagging, or rather ghosting through the car of Adam the Sweet, who appears to not be at the keyboard at the moment. But V10 Ultra, Big Racky, MN99 top 3. There's Freddie, Ruck, Ratty Pitt with Truckee, Ireland, Drauga and T completing the top 10. Justify, Adam the Sweet and Quackmelly rounding out the pack at the moment in P13. A lot of work to do here in this race for sure, as Ireland here's lost out to T going into Maggots, and T's now up into 9th place there. He can now try and focus on Drauga, who's just up ahead of him. But big train of cars here, all the way from Freddie down to Justify. So 8 of them. In fact, no, it's not actually, because these 3, Freddie, Ruck and Matty, are a little way clear of the rest of them. But Ruck trying to make the move here on Freddie here, coming on the exit of Stowe. It's Freddie, though, holding his ground, is still on the inside there, very close, but Ruck does swoop around the outside and gets that move done into Vale. There's a big slide there from Ruck, but holds it together on the exit of the corner. And then you've got the other pack here of Drauga, Truckee, T, with Ireland and Justify on the back of these, as Justify looking very racy on the back of Ireland at the moment as they come down the start-finish straight. Into Abbey they go again. But here are the leaders currently coming through, Aintree and the Loop, and it's V10 Ultra, Big Racky and MN99 sticking to the task pretty nicely at the moment, as T is getting around the outside of Truckee here. Oh, it's Truckee there getting into a spin, and what's happened with T? T's managed to keep it going as Justify and Ireland side by side here on the exit of the Loop here. Down the Wellington straight we go. They're all going to have DRS on each other at the moment. It's going to be chaotic here as they come into Brooklyn. Justify on the inside of Ireland. It's going to try and hold his ground, just holds the inside there, but cuts the corner a bit, and Ireland stays ahead of him anyway, but T managing to stick to these to 8th place for the time being, as we've got to watch the battle here out the front, because Big Racky is absolutely hassling the back of V10 Ultra at the moment. These two have just gapped MN99 a little bit over the course of this lap, but I tell you what, Big Racky, he's saying to him, listen here, you've had the rubber to green, you've had the run of it over the last few races, but I'm telling you now, I've got the potential, I've got the pace, and I've got the talent to take this fight to you. And he's making the move here down the hanger straight into Stowe corner. Big Racky swoops around the outside up into the lead of the British Grand Prix here, and V10 Ultra is now going to have to force his way through. He's going to have to find an opening here as we go back to the battle here between Ruck and Freddie, as Ruck's got around the outside again, but Freddie's keeping himself there. Matty Pitt watching this in the mirrors unfolding right now, but Freddie tucking in behind Ruck for the time being as they come through Vale once again. Ruck there very wide there on the exit of the corner, and Freddie still trying to come back at him, but Ruck's got that one done for the time being into 5th place. There's Trauger in the background, T a little way back in 8th place with Ireland and Justify. Then you've got Truckee, Adam and Quackmelly having made that early pit stop is a long way off. Let's get the tyre graphic up so we know what the situation is in terms of who started on what. Matty Pitt and Ruck are in a good position here because they're on the medium tyres. They've started on those and they can go long into this first stint. It should be a one-stop medium soft strategy here. Tyre wear is not too much of an issue around Silverstone. The only problem with Silverstone is some of these high-speed corners can cause the inside of the tyre to get worked a lot, but the actual surface of the tyre doesn't get worn too much. So as long as that's under control, we should be okay, and we should be seeing not too much in terms of tyre deg around this race. It's a very fast circuit at Silverstone, not too many laps considering the distance that you actually cover. But in terms of the time, should I say. But V10 Ultra has managed to make the move back on Big Raki here down the hanger straight with the DRS, and now MN99 is going to knock Big Raki while he's down as well here. So MN99 now up into second place as well. Big Raki losing 2 places there as they came into Stowe Corner. V10 Ultra hits the front once again as they come through Vale. So Big Raki's going to be cursing that one, but he should be aware that the DRS is very OP around this circuit, and as long as he can keep himself close to these two, he should be able to come back at them, barring any catastrophes for himself. In this first stint, Matty Pitt still running in 4th place, just ahead of Ruck, Freddie and Drager at this point. A couple of seconds back to Ryland T and Justify in 8th, 9th and 10th places. You've got Truckee and Adam still going at it for 11th and 12th places right now. But this is the battle for the lead, as we can see. V10 Ultra, MN99 and Big Raki all coming out of the loop here, and MN99 getting a little bit closer to the back of V10 Ultra here into Brooklands, but just not quite close enough at this moment in time to really put him under any significant pressure. But I tell you what, he's waiting in the wings. He's poised to do something if V10 Ultra slips, or certainly down the hanger straight. That's where we've seen the DRS become very, very effective. As T there's just ahead of Ireland right now. You've got Justify waiting in the wings in the background here, but Ireland's got a bit of a run here. He's got the slipstream here on T as we come down towards Cops. Still a little bit too far away just at the moment. Justify also likewise just a little bit too far away on Ireland. But here's where the DRS really pays dividends. Here we go, MN99 is going to get that rear wing wide open. He's going to be closing on the back of V10 Ultra. Just a little bit too far away this time around to put him under significant pressure. V10 Ultra would have been seeing him getting closer in the mirrors, but luckily for him, or rather down to the fact that he pulled out enough of a gap through that middle sector there, he's just got the upper hand at the moment as Matty Pitt and Ruck battling over 4th place here. Ruck looking to the inside there into Vale, too far back. Freddie and Draga battling in the background there. It's Justify looking to the inside there on T into Vale, but just not close enough there at the moment. T managing to hold his ground here through Vale and into Club, but Justify might have a chance here down the start finish straight because T got a bit of a compromised run, taking a tighter line. No, stays ahead for the time being. T still running in 9th place as things stand. V10 Ultra has got MN99 and Big Raki hot on his heels as they come down the Wellington Straight once again, but nobody's really close enough to force an opening at this point. Ruck, I tell you what, it's going to fancy his chances at the back of Matty. Matty still just about got the legs on him as they come into Brooklands again. I tell you what, there's battles everywhere you look right now. You've got the battle for 4th with Matty Pitt behind these 3 who are fighting it out over the lead. And you've also got the battle for 8th place, Ireland, T, Justify. Those 3 continuing to run pretty close. But this is the battle for P1 right now. V10 Ultra, MN99 and Big Raki as we now come down the hanger straight again. And just looks like V10 Ultra's got a bit more of a gap than he has done over previous laps here. Just doesn't even really need to defend. MN99 not close enough to even put him under any pressure at the moment. Seems like despite the DRS being very strong around here, V10 Ultra is managing to keep himself out of harm's way as Matty Pitt and Ruck there side by side here through Stowe. And Ruck again just a little bit too far away to send one into Vale. But Ruck did briefly get ahead of him there, and then Matty had the inside through Stowe Corner and was able to hold his ground. Freddie's still keeping these 2 under pressure as well, not letting them out of his sights at the moment. As Justify again looking racy on the back of Ireland, but not in a position to do anything right now. What's MN99 got to give V10 Ultra? Look at this. He's got a heck of a run there coming down the Wellington Straight. Looks to the outside now into Brooklands. Is he going to try and go around the outside? He's going to try it, but is he going to do so? He is going to do so. MN99 with a peach of a move there. Made sure he had the inside line and kept his car alongside. Was ahead slightly going into Luffield, and he gets that move done. But V10 Ultra is not going to give up here. He's surely going to try and come back with the immediate reply here. Big Raki is also right there with these as well. As we come through Cops Corner, V10 Ultra is going to... Oh, MN99 M99, big snap there on the exit of Cops, and V10 Ultra is going to swoop through here up into the lead. He's going to sacrifice the DRS though, but Big Racky's also going to have the DRS on both of these two here, and we'll be looking to try and do what happened, essentially be the opposite of what happened to him a couple of laps ago when he was leading. He'll be hoping to get both of these two coming down the hangar straight. Here we go then, DRS for Big Racky and MN99 as here we go. Is he going to have a chance on the leader? No, he's not. He gets ahead of MN99, but MN99 on the inside for Stowe Corner manages to get back ahead of him there. Big Racky in the end couldn't even make one move as they come into Stowe Corner and through into Vale now. And it's still V10 Ultra who leads the way for the time being, but what a fight this is out the front between V10 Ultra, MN99 and Big Racky. What a show these guys are putting on at this moment. Battle continues on for the whole race. But V10 Ultra still your race leader at this point, with a long way to go here in this British Grand Prix here at Purple Sector. We've got Ireland here coming into the pits at the end of lap 7. As T continues to hassle the back of Justify at the moment. And Ireland putting the hard tyres on, which should, in theory, get you to the end quite comfortably from here. As we've got the battle continuing on at the front. V10 Ultra and MN99. V10 Ultra managed to make the move back on him there. But MN99 back through on the inside there, coming through Luffield. What a great fight this is between these two. This next corner, Cops, is where MN99 went wide on the previous lap. But V10 Ultra is trying to come back in before we even get to the corner this time. He can't do it because MN99 got a better exit out of Luffield. Here we come then through Cops. MN99 keeps it together this time around. But V10 Ultra is going to be waiting for that DRS down the hangar straight. He's going to be pouncing for sure, or he'll be at least trying to. Big Racky still watching it, this all unfold in front of him, hoping he might be able to feast on the scraps of these two. I tell you what, he's very close, and he might have a chance to get ahead of both of them here. But V10 Ultra looking to the outside of MN99, down towards Stowe Corner we come. What about Big Racky? He's too far back, but V10 Ultra does hit the front here into Stowe Corner, gets ahead of MN99, and once again these two chopping and changing like no tomorrow. Great racing out the front here. As we see Rock there losing out to Freddie. Freddie down the inside into Stowe Corner. And is Rock going to have the inside here for Vale? I think he is going to be able to come back at him here. Freddie is going to hold it around the outside. Goes late on the brakes there, does Freddie. And actually gets the move done there. Lovely driving there from Freddie. We got Drauger in the pits at the end of lap 8 here. He was in a battle a few moments ago. He wasn't too far off of these. But V10 Ultra still out the front. Has got MN99 and Big Racky still for company right now. But I tell you what, Big Racky's putting more pressure on MN99 than MN is on V10 at the moment. But Big Racky, oh, I tell you what, MN99, as I say that, he's looking around the outside of V10 Ultra. Surely V10's going to hang him out to dry here. I know he's not. He lets him, V10 Ultra for me there was giving him far too much room there. He gets a better exit here coming out of Luffield. No, he doesn't. MN99, how did he do that? The traction must be really strong in that car. Because he somehow, despite taking a tighter line out of Luffield, actually got ahead of him there. Through Cops we go. V10 Ultra is now going to try and do what he did on the previous lap, but Big Racky's going to be waiting right there as well. Big Racky's a little bit closer this time to these two than he was on the previous lap as well. Saying that though, his line was not ideal at all there through Beckett's, and that's just lost him a bit of time there. But V10 Ultra will make this move of routine stuff here down Hangar Straight into the lead once again here. MN99 powerless to do anything about that one. And these two, it's a constant evolving situation right now. It's a repeat of every lap right now. Every lap, these two, they pass each other. One passes the other in one DRS zone, and the next DRS zone they swap over again. It's a constant process right now. But V10 Ultra currently is your race leader here on lap 10 of the British Grand Prix. Matty Pitt, Freddie and Ruck still battling over 4th, 5th and 6th places right now. Trucky's got Adam on the back of him, but Adam, I believe that's his AI in the car, because why is he ghosting? Very peculiar. MN99 once again having a crack here at V10 Ultra. Down Wellington Straight we go, round the outside he goes into P1 again. But V10 Ultra knows the score by now. He knows the drill. And V10 Ultra there got a nice exit there out of Luffield as well. On the inside, is going to get through before we get to Cops. Here comes Big Racky. Wow, we're 3 wide coming down towards Cops Corner. Look at that. Big Racky is going to pull a Mika Hakkinen move there up the inside of both of them. Fantastic move there from Big Racky. Similar to what we saw from Mika Hakkinen at Spa at Lacombe when he went up the inside of Schumacher and Zonta. Fantastic opportunism there from Big Rack. He saw the gap and went for it, but he's going to be vulnerable now with the DRS. He needs to get a good exit out of Chapel Curve. Did he manage to get a good enough exit to stay ahead of both of these two? He needs to go to the inside now, and he's not going to. And Big Racky there's going to be passed on the inside by MN99. MN99 though didn't get enough momentum there. Big Racky's going to try and keep alongside him coming down towards Vale. So we've got Vita Ultra around the outside there. Big Racky, surely he's not going to be able to hold on, and Big Racky's fantastic move there gets undone by the certainly manufactured by a DRS move there. Those two managed to come back at him straight away, and that's a shame there because he pulled off a superb move down the old pit straight there into Copse Corner. But MN99 once again in the lead of the race with Eastern Ultra second, and Big Racky now once again the back marker of this trio as we come out onto the Wellington straight again. And Beaton Ultra once again with the DRS here on MN99, too far back into Brooklands this time around. We see a big lock up there from MN99. Maybe the tyres now starting to scream a little bit. We know that 10 or so laps is usually the max around most circuits on the soft. Oh, massive slide there from Beaton Ultra. Got onto the curve very exuberantly there. Big Racky is going to surely pounce. No, he's not. Didn't get a good enough run there. Magpie Zero loving that move there from Big Racky on the previous lap, as these three continue to go at it right now. But Big Racky nothing to show for that move, unfortunately, so far. Beaton Ultra here getting close to the back of MN99 into Stowe, but still not close enough. Is anybody going to pull the trigger this time around? Saw a couple of lockups on that previous lap. Their tyres are now starting to cry a little bit. Freddie's made the move ahead of Rock up into 5th place. We've seen on previous laps there that Rock's been able to keep himself there into Vale, but not this time around. Freddie has well and truly made that move up into 5th place. T in the pits and off and away again. This battle out the front though is still continuing to rage on. MN99, Beaton Ultra and Big Racky as they're coming down the old pit straight once again here. On board with Big Racky. This is the man to be on board with, I think. It's where it all happens. Oh, Big Racky's got a penalty. We were just riding on board with him there. We saw it as it happened. Took big liberties out of Beckett's. He's got the DRS though on both of these two. Is he going to pull off a similar move to what we saw earlier on to the outside of MN99 onto the gravel a little bit? And Beaton Ultra manages to make the move back on the inside there into Stowe. And they're all coming into the pits at the same time here at the end of lap 12. So that means a 14 lap stint on the medium tyres for all three of these. We couldn't make this up. They're all doing exactly the same thing, so none of them is going to benefit from doing the overcut or the undercut. It's going to be literally everyone on the same strategy. The question is, are any of the pit crews going to mess up? Because the smallest little mistake here will lose you a position. So it was MN, V10, Big Racky. Are we going to see a shake-up in the order here? MN's off and away. He's come out ahead of Beaton Ultra, and Big Racky's come out behind him, so the order's unchanged after the pit stops. Everybody's come out in the same position to what they entered the pits in. And no complaints there for the drivers towards their pit crew. They've all done their job diligently and professionally there. No complaints there for the drivers towards their pit crew. They've all done their job diligently and professionally there. Matty Pitt out the front is just coming through Woodcote at the moment. He's still yet to pit on those medium tyres, as is Truckee. Matty Pitt could be a factor later on in this race. Maybe a podium might be a bit beyond, because I think the top three are pretty much in the league of their own tonight, but we'll have to keep an eye on. But MN99 just having an absolute cracker of a race tonight, I've got to tell you. Got unlucky the other night at the Red Bull Ring, got a bit of a tap in the rear from one of the other drivers. I think it was it Rock? I can't remember, I might be wrong there. but there was contact coming out of turn 1, and he ended up getting tagged in the rear, I think, and ended up in the barriers out of the race. But tonight he's avoided any such incidents, and so far so good here right now, batting over the win as Viton Ultra's now picked off Truckee, who's on the medium tyres. Big Raki will be the last one to come round to try and get into some clean air here, but he's lost a bit of ground as Big Raki on this outlap, so struggling to get those tyres in the right zone here, it would appear, and that's now going to hurt him in his pursuit to try and win this race. But I suppose the good thing for him is that these two in front are going to be battling, which is probably going to slow them down a little bit and might give him a lifeline back into this race. We'll have to see. Here's the battle then for the net race lead, MN99 and Viton Ultra as they come down the Wellington Straight. Obviously Matty Pitt is the race leader, but he still needs to pit. Saying that though, he could come out pretty handy after his pit stop, and he'll have a stint on the soft tyres as well, which would definitely be advantageous. But currently Viton Ultra trying to put this pressure here on the back of MN99. Down the old pit straight we go. And he'll surely fancy his chances in the DRS zone down the hanger straight, that is for sure. Big Raki's still stuck behind Truckee at the moment, which is not going to do his pursuit of the win any good whatsoever here tonight. But here we go then, Viton Ultra, the championship leader with the DRS on the back of MN99 as these two absolutely thunder down the hanger straight. And here goes Viton Ultra to the inside. MN99 doesn't defend it, and Viton Ultra hits the front once again here at Silverstone as Big Raki crucially has made that move on Truckee now up into 4th place, so he can now try and chase down his rivals for this race win. Obviously a net third with Matty Pitt's impending pit stop, which he's now done. So Matty Pitt trying to do 12 laps on the soft tyres, as we're going to see Viton and MN99 and Big Raki all come through here. Matty's still trundling down the pit lane, but it'd be key to see actually what his gap is to these leaders when he does actually hit the track, because on the soft tyres he will have a pace advantage, and as long as he can get them to the end comfortably, he might have a chance of giving them a bit of something to worry about in the closing stages. The gap 10 seconds between Viton Ultra, the race leader, and Matty Pitt, just over 10 seconds. So as Matty can keep those together and lap about a second a lap quicker, he could be a factor in this race, in the race for the victory here tonight. That's a big if, because keeping those top tyres together and being able to lap a second a lap faster than drivers on the mediums is, that's quite a big ask. But it could be one to watch here, Matty Pitt. Let's see what happens, especially if Big Raki continues to drop off to these top two like he has done. Then he could definitely be under pressure from Matty at the end of this race. Matty could potentially be in with a shout of podium, and actually with the penalty for Big Raki as well, that's even more reason why we should keep an eye on him. But nonetheless, MN99 in the DRS here on the back of Viton Ultra, too far back going into Stowe Corner this time around, but continuing to keep him on his toes right now, with still plenty of this race left to go. These two couple of seconds clear of Big Raki, who has closed in slightly over the last lap or so. With these two battling, you would expect him to be able to capitalise on that. Running in clean air by himself, he can extract the absolute maximum out of his car, whereas those two are going to be too worried about each other, watching each other's every move, and potentially defensive driving from Viton Ultra. And obviously, as anyone will know who's raced on any sim racing game, if you're looking in your mirrors and watching the driver behind you and trying to defend and block them, that's going to obviously cost you time and stop you from going as fast as you can. See Quack Melly here all over the back of Tralga, coming down the Wellington Straight, pulling out the slipstream now with the DRS. This is going to be a routine move here for Quack Melly. That's job done there, up into 6th place. T's got DRS on Freddie, Justify very close on T, but with the DRS that T's got on Freddie, it helps him out. But Justify, I think, is going to be looking to make this move on T pretty shortly. I don't think he's going to be wanting to be hanging around too much in this one.
I don't think he's going to be wanting to be hanging around too much in this one.
Jalga's got a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Going to get the penalties up in a second. Once we've established what tyres people are on, obviously I'll leave it up for a little bit for anybody who's watching now or watching it afterwards, because Obviously, if you want to just make a note, everybody, mental note of what tyres people are on so you know what's going on. Essentially, the storylines are Matty Pitt in 4th on the soft tyres, could have a chance of closing in on the leaders. But the top 3 are all on mediums. As we can see, Justify again looking to the inside of T into Vale, but just a little bit too far away at the moment. Do apologise for the double audio as well. I'm just got my phone in my hand at the moment because I'm just ordering a pizza for the end of the race. But got V10 there moving always the side by side through Luffield, and V10 Ultra once again has made the move on MN99. I don't want to talk about it like it's a race deciding duel here, because it really isn't, because we know for a fact that these two are going to swap positions quite a few more times before the end of the race. This could be a case of right place, right time here as to who takes the win here tonight. The DRS zone is so OP around this circuit that it really is a case of right place, right time. It's going to be a bit of a tactical as to who's ahead when towards the end of the race, I'm sure. It's going to be a bit of a tactical as to who's ahead when towards the end of the race, I'm sure. Alright, there we go. Pizza's ordered. And Evan between these two as they're coming out onto the I think the audio is good. Yep, we're fine. Yep, we're all good. Big Wacky has reeled in these two significantly over the last couple of laps. The gap was over 2 seconds. I did say before that with these two battling and worrying about each other so much, it's going to definitely invite Big Wacky back into the race, and that is exactly what has happened. Also want to keep an eye on Matty Pitt. Is definitely closing the gap to these three, but not by enough, I don't think, to be in with a shout of winning the race. He's within 9 seconds the pit stops, but that's 2.5 laps, 4/10 a lap is just simply not going to be enough for him to have any chance of winning this race. But Big Wacky definitely a player in a battle for this win. He's got the penalty though, which could be enormous by the end of the race. MN99 here down the inside of V10 Ultra, making the move for the lead once again into Stowe Corner. And Big Wacky just waiting in the wings. But the thing is, Big Wacky, he can't just win the race. He's also got to finish clear of these two. He's only got 3 seconds. But he really needs these two to trip over, get ahead of both of them, and then try and pull out that gap. That's realistically his only hope of winning this race. As Quackmelly's got a 3-second time penalty there for track limits. Oh, it's Big Wacky sending one up the inside here of V10 Ultra. A big lock up there as he avoids contact. You could tell there just the pressure, knowing he needs to make something happen sooner rather than later, really. Can't afford to wait. He's not in a position where he's got time on his side here. He needs to force the issue. He needs to do it now. V10 Ultra here, all over MN99 as we come through Woodcote once again. V10 Ultra there, just having a little feint to the inside there on MN99. MN99 not really taking the bait, just holding firm at the moment. Oh, so we see a massive slide there from V10 Ultra. Really got sideways there coming through on the exit of Chapel. The DRS now, he's going to get close to the back of MN99 and looks to the inside now. Does V10 down the inside into Stowe Corner, and he's made that move once again. A predictable move there, which we've seen repeatedly. And it really is going to be a case of who is in the right place at the right time at the end of this race. Apologise for the voice crack there. Don't know why on earth that happened, but anyway, we move. So Quackmelly on the back of Drauga as they come into Stowe Corner. With just over 7 laps left to go here in this race. Justify still putting pressure here on the back of Freddie. Freddie's kind of dropped out of it since the pit stops here, but still in a good points paying position right now. But Here are the leaders once again down at the Wellington Straight. Big Raki very close on the back of MN99, looking to the outside here into Brooklands. Is he going to try and hold his ground here? I think he is, as MN99 just squeezes him off the track there. A little bit naughty there. I think Big Raki had a little bit of his car alongside there, and MN99 just swiped him off the road. So come on, mate, are you really going to go for that? You've got a little bit of your car alongside me, but I don't think that's enough to warrant racing room. Whereas Big Raki would have thought, well, I'm alongside, I'm entitled to some space here. But regardless, they continue on their way, and Big Raki's lost a little bit of momentum here, and a few tenths of a second on these two. MN99's going to have DRS now on Beaton Ultra, but I think he's just a little bit too far away to really put him under pressure coming into the braking zone into Stowe. As Justify's got around Freddie up into 8th place. And these three at the front still going at it with 6 laps left in this British Grand Prix here for the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. 6 laps left in this British Grand Prix here for the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. As Freddie's got back ahead of Justify through Stowe Corner, so these two continuing to give each other a great fight right now. And I'll tell you what, they might actually both be closing on Drauger and Queckmelly, who have got penalties as well. That's going to be crucial. Rock currently running in no man's land in P5, but yeah, look at this, 6 seconds for both Drauger and Queckmelly, so Freddie could be smelling a P6 here, or he definitely will be, I'm sure, as Big Raki and Beaton Ultra swap positions there for a second. I think Big Raki was looking around the outside. MN99 currently a race leader at this moment in time, but the order between these three right now pretty much doesn't matter at all, because the final lap of the race, it could all change. You could have MN99 leading with Beaton Ultra second and Big Raki third now, and by the end of the lap you could have completely the opposite way around. It could be flipped on his head. It's literally just a lap by lap basis right now. But Beaton Ultra is going to make this move in the DRS down the Hanger Straight, because he's very close on MN99 as he now looks to the inside. Big Raki might be able to make a move as well here, but has nowhere to go, boxed in there. No options there for Big Raki. And MN99 holds it around the outside of Beaton Ultra there through Stowe. Fantastic driving there from MN99, but Beaton Ultra down the inside into Vale. MN99 does keep it around the outside there. Beaton is going to go for the cutback here into Club Corner. Brilliantly executed there from Beaton Ultra. Fantastic stuff. Such witty racing from Beaton Ultra. With 5 laps left to go here at Silverstone. They're side by side here through Village. What a race this is out the front between these three drivers, as Big Raki needs to really get ahead of these two now. He needs these two to run into each other or make a mistake, because with his 3-second penalty he's not going to pull that out now unless these two mess up. But Beaton Ultra looking to the inside here of MN99 into Brooklands again. Still can't make this one happen. Big Raki's running out of time though. He needs to get ahead and needs to get into clean air pretty much on this lap, or I think it's going to be over for him. His hopes of a win. Still a very creditable podium though, as things stand. Battle for P6 is still heating up. We've got Drauger, Queckmelly, Justify and Freddie, the rear gunner of this pack of cars. And Justify and Freddie in the box seat here because they haven't got any penalties, whereas the two drivers in front of them have. So these two are going to inherit those positions anyway, as Beaton Ultra's got back ahead of MN99 into Stowe Corner with the DRS down the Hanger Straight, I would assume, making that one happen. Look at this fight into Stowe Corner again. Drauger, Queckmelly, Justify and Freddie. I tell you what, only 13 drivers turned out tonight for this race here, but I think never has a saying been more apt, quality over quantity, than right now, because clearly the drivers out on track tonight have done a fantastic job. The racing has been absolutely top notch, so clean and really, really fair driving amongst everybody here. I'm just really, really impressed with the Purple Sector F1 League, and clearly Matty Pitters got together and sorted out a real race and show each other the respect out on track, and it's great to see such good, close, fair racing competitive racing. But we see Freddie here still trying to up the tempo here on the back of Drauga and Kwekmeli. These two are penalties. He might not be in a rush here, Freddie, but I suppose to justify on the back of him, he would like to get into clean air, I assume. But he's not going to be in too much of a rush here. He'll just want to sit on the back of them and make sure he's there to pick up the pieces when these two inevitably drop down the order at the end of the race. Ruck's got another penalty there. He's now got 9 seconds worth. Luckily for him, the two drivers behind him have both got penalties as well. So he won't lose any position as things stand anyway. Back to the leaders though, V10 Ultra, MN99 and Big Raki, a second separating the top three right now as we start lap 24 of 26. Big Raki still with that penalty. I don't think he's going to win now. It's going to be between these two, V10 Ultra and MN99, but Big Raki could still play a hand in this. He could still determine the outcome here. If he gets in between them and starts playing shenanigans, then who knows. But MN99 with the DRS getting closer to the back of V10 Ultra into Brooklyn's big lock up there from MN99 as well, which would have cost him a little bit of tyres, I'm sure. Those tyres will be now just crying out a little bit more than they were a few moments ago. Here we come then through Woodcote, and look at the run that MN99 has got, but he backs out of it. Knows he wants the DRS here. Was V10 backing off a little bit, trying to give MN99 a position, knowing full well they'd be able to get the move done on him again down the Hangar Straight, which is coming up in a moment's time. Is V10 Ultra practicing maybe, or is MN99? These two are surely going to be practicing for the final lap now, because they know that the final lap is going to be so key, with the DRS here being crucial. Whoever's in the lead is going to be trying to desperately to pull out a gap which is big enough to defend, and whoever's in second is going to be wanting to make sure they're sat right on the diffuser of the driver in front, coming into the coming out of Chapel Curve on the final lap. But this is all going to be a game of it's going to be a game of chicken. This is. It's going to be a strategic masterstroke. Whoever's going to win this race. These two have pulled out a bit of a gap here to Big Raki. He's now nearly 2 seconds adrift and appears to be out of this battle, not just on the classification, but also on the track as well. Just noticing Freddie's got ahead of Kwekmeli on the track and is now hassling Drauga. But Freddie, with a 3-second penalty now, which he's got, will drop him behind Justify. So Justify will finish P6 as things stand. Freddie will take 7th unless he can get ahead of Drauga and pull out a gap, in which case he might have a chance of managing to salvage P6 from Justify. But Freddie needs to get this move done on Drauga now, pretty much. It's now or never here, I think. Is he going to have a chance at the end of the Wellington Straight? A little bit too far away here. But yeah, he needs to make this move ASAP if he's going to pull out that gap to Justify of 3 seconds, which he needs. Justify, thankfully for Freddie, at the moment is at the rear of this quartet. So if Freddie is able to make this move down the Hangar Straight, he might have a chance over a lap to get the gap. Oh, it's Drauga there with a bit of a mistake, and Freddie nowhere to go, went into the back of him. Freddie lost a bit of his front wing there through Copse Corner. Is that going to have cost him? He isn't missing any of his end plates. That's going to be important, but there is going to be very, very small amount of damage there on the front wing itself. DRS now for Freddie. He's going to now make this move here into Stowe Corner, and this is going to be job done here for him. Now he's got a lap to try and make sure he's got 3 seconds to Justify, who's currently about a second behind him on the road. 6-7 tenths is the gap between them, but Justify's got 2 drivers to overtake, so Freddie now needs to just go for it here on this final lap of the race. In the meantime, V10 Ultra and MN99, this is the battle for the race win, and V10 Ultra has led into Brooklands. MN99 is playing the strategic game here. Is V10 going to back off and try and play games here with MN99? He needs to be careful because it will bring Big Raki into the battle, which obviously he's out of it on the classification, but on the track I'm sure he'd love to finish ahead of these two for a bit of pride. But here we go then. This is it for the British Grand Prix at Purple Sector for round 12 of 24 here for Season X, and it is between V10 Ultra and MN99. V10 trying to pull out this gap here through the twisty section of Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. Is he going to have enough of a gap here? 4/10 it is as they come out to the hanger straight. Here we go. This is it. MN99 closing. Is he going to get there a little bit too late? It's going to be very close. He looks to the inside now, and he goes down the inside, and he makes that move, and he makes it stick there beautifully. This MN99, and Viton Ultra, I think, has just lost the race here. He's going to look down the inside. He's going to dive down the inside into Vale. He makes that move sticking once again here. Great battle between these two, and Viton Ultra has wrestled the lead back off of him here through the final corner. He takes the win here tonight at Silverstone with Big Raki there managing to get ahead of him briefly, but MN99 does take second with the penalties, and in fact he took it anyway. So Viton Ultra, your winner, but MN99 second, Big Raki third, with Matty Pitt over in fourth place in the end. Bit of a gap back to Rock, who will finish this one in fifth place. And Freddie's made a mistake on the final lap of the race. What's happened to Freddie? Freddie's dropped behind Drago, Quickmelly and Justify in the final few corners here, but Matty Pitt fourth, Rock fifth. Drago will take P6, although the penalties might shake up the order a little bit here. So Justify P6, Drago seventh, Freddie eighth, and Quickmelly ninth. T gets the ninth place there ahead of Quickmelly on the penalties. So Quickmelly takes the final point with Truckee in 11th. And the leaderboard is just loading there at the bottom, so we'll find out in a second. But wow, what a finish. What a race. We had what a fantastic battle for the win that was. And ultimately Viton Ultra there with a last-ditch comeback there into Vale. It looked like MN99 had wrestled the race win through Stowe, and then Viton Ultra just said, no, not happening. And absolutely lunged down the inside into Vale. Don't know if it was a little bit too aggressive. I don't know whether there's going to be any stewards between those two. Seemed to be a few hairy moments, but from my perspective, it was a fantastic watch. Big Raki there taking third place in the end. And that is that then. Everybody for tonight's action here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix at Purple Sector. And Viton Ultra, the championship leader, taking the win. MN99 taking the fastest lap and P2. And surely it's a matter of time before MN99 and Big Raki take their first wins here at Purple Sector. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if either of them have taken wins before, but broadcast wins, should I say. It's going to be a matter of time until they win here on the Motive Racing channel. But from all of us, it's a big thank you. Make sure you join us tomorrow night on the channel for Motive Racing's Formula 1 League, which will be live at 7:30 p.m. UK time. And that will be for the Chinese Grand Prix, which I believe is a sprint race as well. That'll be very exciting indeed. But for Purple Sector, we're back on Tuesday night next week for round 13 of the season. That will be from Hungary, followed by Belgium, Spa-Francorchamps on the Thursday after. But from all of us, it's a big thank you. We'll see you soon. Take it easy and good night.